Hello and welcome to another video. This time I have another trash parts PC. This one will be with a Core 2 Quad and GTX460. I'll be building it into this abandoned Antec case and then we'll test some modern games on it. This PC case has gone through some rough treatment and it's covered in all kinds of scuffs and scratches. I won't be trying to cover those up or do any restoration or such for this PC. I think I'll just clean it and it'll still work fine as a PC case. I think since it's an older PC case, it could actually be era appropriate for the hardware I'm going to put in it. I'm not entirely sure about that though, but anyway, the main issue with this case was that the top 230mm fan was broken. As I had another old Antec cases, I just borrowed a fan out of one of those, and since that fan was identical to this one, it was quite easy to replace. Other than that, the top mesh needed to be straightened out a bit and the front dust filter needed to be cleaned. After dealing with those things, I just gave the case a wash and after letting it dry, I installed some trash components I had restored into it. So there's an Asus motherboard, 8GB of DDR2, Core 2 Quad Q9400 with Intel stock cooler. The graphics card is Gigabyte 460 and both CPU and GPU thermal paste has been reapplied. The power supply is a 600 watt one. The fan on it was faulty and I needed to replace that, and that's why it has a red fan. In addition to two RGB fans, the only new component in this PC is the 120GB SSD. However, all the games I will run on this PC will be run from the HDD. Despite having been washed, the PC case still had some caked dust, so I used 70% isopropyl alcohol to wipe most of the dust off the case. Even just being idle on the Windows desktop, the PC is definitely exhausting some hot air. The power efficiency of these old Core 2 Quads probably isn't great, but at least the airflow of the case seems to be working really well. In addition to the top 230mm exhaust fan, I have two 120mm intake fans. The side fan mount appears to be placed just right on this case to provide cold air for the GPU and for the PSU. And the temperatures overall shouldn't be an issue. So let's see what this PC can do today and find out if I was correct not to let this old hardware rest quite yet. And this hardware really is quite old. The CPU has been released in 2008, so it will soon be 15 years old. Despite its age, this PC can run Valorant very well. Here it's running at 1080p low, and all of the gameplay in this video has been recorded with MSI Afterburner because Shadowplay doesn't work on these old cards, and Afterburner has noticeable performance impact, and despite it the game is running very well. BeamNG.drive and relatively weak or old CPUs are not a great combination, and the game isn't really playable, and dropping the resolution down doesn't make it playable either. Performance mode does make Fortnite somewhat playable at 1080p low. Amnesia Rebirth at 1080p low did work perfectly and did hold a constant 55 FPS, but immediately when I start recording with the Afterburner it does blur the whole game and FPS drops down, so it just doesn't like the recording, but the game itself did work fine.
I'm going to fry out here. Wait, Hank.
But we've no choice. We need to get them to shelter.
I know. It's Selim. He's hurt. Caves.
Dishonored worked really well and I didn't really even have to turn the settings down too low. It worked really well at 1080p.